My first thoughts on the new appraisal system is seeing where we're coming from and seeing where we're going. The PDOS system, I felt, did not give teachers enough feedback.
It is a little bit overwhelming for some of the teachers. Being a team leader on my grade level, I know some of the teachers are trying to figure out how to fit some of the pieces of the puzzle.
It's going to be something new. It's going to be something that teachers are going to have to adjust to, but I think overall the new appraisal system is more valid than the old one.
I am a very reflective teacher, so after every lesson I go back through and I think what went well today, what didn't go well, and even with being a part of dual language, I can change that within the day. So my first morning group, I can change how I taught those kids and make the lesson more rigorous or scale back with what the students need. And the PPfT really helps you do that with the rubric, because you go through each piece and you think, oh, how did I do in this classroom climate area, or how did I do with differentiation? So it really helps you go through and see what are your strengths and weaknesses within your own teaching practices.
The thing I like most about the PPfT is the fact that teachers get evaluated continuously. They get evaluated from different administrators. So if one administrator sees one thing in your performance that they like, another administrator sees something that they don't like, you can bring all the feedback together and it gives you a more well-rounded view of your teaching.
Very user-friendly. The teachers are given a rubric and we just have to follow whenever we're lesson planning for our evaluation. We just have to see that we hit each one of those. It's on a 4-point scale, so that way we just go through it, and our goal is obviously to get a 4, but we understand that 3 is the average, so we just look for that and we just try our best, and it gives us great feedback as to where we're lacking and which things that we actually excel in.
I feel as if I'm more aware of my students, their performance prior to teaching a topic, after teaching a topic, and the feedback from our principals allows me to identify which students may need additional assistance, or maybe going the extra mile to make sure each student is engaged in the lesson and not just a handful.
The feedback is more timely, and it is rubric based, so you know exactly what part of the rubric you're hitting or missing, and therefore you know that if it's student engagement, this is what it's supposed to be, this is the areas that you need to strengthen. If it is classroom climate, then the same thing, being able to hit those areas and be very specific, because it is based on a rubric that you're allowed to measure your feedback and improve from there.
I think just being aware and knowing, like, okay, there's this piece at the end, the student growth piece and the SLO, and that's kind of on the back of my mind sometimes. Okay, I know this is how much I need my kids to improve, and this is where I need to get them to.
I've seen at faculty developments how people are getting more involved with where they're going in their profession and looking at professional development as a tool to achieve those goals. And so I really like that component. I just feel like it makes better teachers. I really like the fact that it encouraged me to reflect on my practices. I like that looking ahead, at the end there was a component where you have an opportunity to discuss with your administrators what is it that you can individually grow on and improve on, and I like that made me think more about, hey, what can I do next? What am I doing now? How can I make that better, and where do I go from here for next year?
After each walkthrough or each administrative evaluation, I could always go back on and check HCP, and from there it gave me ideas for further professional development if I wanted to look into anything. So overall it just gave me an insight to how to become a better teacher.
It allowed me to meet with my supervisor, see areas that were recommended for improvement, seek out trainings, professional development, and self-studies to be able to meet those needs, and then bring that back into the classroom. And it also allowed that rapport and that communication and feedback to see if we are progressing in the direction that we both set as our goal.
being able to compare the first observer notes to our second observer notes gave more insight to see was there improvement in a certain category or was it consistent across the board.
I really like the continuous effective feedback that the administrators provide. The administrators, for example, for me, they've come in about 2 or 3 times, evaluated my teaching. It opened up room for dialogue. It opened up room for collaboration. So when they observe me teaching, I'm able to ask them questions such as, how is my teaching going so far? What are some things I can improve upon? When you think about an evaluation tool, you want to think about something that really helps teachers to develop and build upon their capacity. That can only be done through collaboration, through talking. So when I'm able to talk, have meetings with the principal, I found that it really helps me to develop as an educator myself. It's kind of like if you look at a puzzle, if an administrator only evaluates you one time, that's only one piece of the puzzle. But whenever you get that continuous feedback, that's many different pieces that are put together to create the whole picture of you as a teacher.